Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Welcome back to Around the World, the podcast that unpicks global news and politics, helping you understand the underlying themes shaping our world. I'm your host, Terry Davis. And today we are continuing our deep dive into the state of UK transport. In this, the second episode of our mini-series, we are taking to the skies to explore the future of UK aviation, a sector that's not only vital for our economy and connectivity, but it also faces significant challenges as it seeks to navigate a rapidly changing landscape. This aviation industry is at the crossroads. On one hand, it's grappling with the urgent need to reduce environmental impacts. On the other hand, it's still recovering from severe disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. In today's episode, we'll be exploring the key trends shaping the future of UK aviation, from the push for sustainability and development of greener technologies to the ongoing recovery efforts and the evolving role of airports in our economy. Let's start by looking at the environmental challenges that the airline industry faces today. Reducing the carbon footprint of aviation is a massive undertaking. The industry accounts for around 2 to 3% of global carbon emissions, with growing pressure from governments and public. The aviation sector is under immense scrutiny to become more sustainable. One of the most promising developments in the area is the rise of sustainable aviation fuels, or SAFs. These fuels are designed to significantly reduce carbon emissions compared to traditional jet fuel and can be used in existing aircraft without major modifications. SAFs have the potential to cut the aviation's carbon emissions by 80%, but they are still at the early stages of adoption. The UK government has been proactive in supporting the developments of SAFs, with initiatives like Jet Zero Council aiming to make zero emissions flights a target and a reality by 2050. However, there are significant challenges to scaling up production and making these fuels more widely available and affordable. The industry will still need to invest heavily in infrastructure and technology if it's to meet these ambitious targets. But it's not just about greener fuels. The future of aviation also hangs on the development of the next generation aircraft. Electric and hybrid Electric planes are becoming reality, with several companies already testing prototypes. These aircraft promise quieter and more efficient flights, especially for short-haul routes, which could transform regional air travel. However, the widespread adoption of electric planes will require significant advances in battery technology and infrastructure changes at airports to supply charging facilities. While these technological advances are exciting, there also rise questions about economic viability of the aviation industry, practically as it tries to recover from the financial blow dealt by the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic grounded fleets worldwide, leading to massive losses for the airlines and airports alike. The recovery has been slow, with passenger numbers still below the pre-pandemic levels, and ongoing concerns about new variants and travel restrictions. In response, the airlines are adapting by streamlining operations, investing in digital innovations like contactless check-ins, and focusing on customer safety and confidence. The UK's aviation recovery is crucial, not just for the industry itself, but for the broader economy, given that the sector's role in trade, tourism, and job creation. But recovery efforts need to balance economic needs with the industry's environmental responsibilities. This brings us to the evolving role of the airports in the UK. Airports are no longer just hubs for travel. They've become integral parts of the economy, supporting local businesses and acting as catalysts for regional development. Take Cardiff Airport, for instance, owned by the Welsh Government. Cardiff Airport is seen as a key driver for the Welsh economy, helping to attract investment and boost tourism. The Welsh Government's ownership allows strategic, long-term planning and investment, ensuring that the airport can meet the needs of the region while also focusing on sustainability. However, Cardiff Airport has faced its own challenges, especially during the pandemic. With passengers' numbers dropping significantly, the Welsh Government has continued to support the airport, viewing it as an essential to Wales's connectivity with the rest of the UK and beyond. This approach contrasts with the majority of UK airports, which are privately owned and operated and on a more commercial terms, often prioritizing short-term profitability over long-term strategic goals. So, what does the future hold for UK aviation? It's clear that sustainability will be a key driver for change, with the industry needing to innovate to meet environmental targets. At the same time, uh, the sector must focus on recovering from the pandemic, adapting to the new norms, and ensuring the airports continue to play a crucial role in the economy. The balance between these priorities will determine the direction of the UK aviation industry. before we wrap up, let's take a moment to consider the broader implications of these developments. The future of UK aviation is not just about planes and the airports. It's about how we connect with the world, how we balance economic growth with environmental stewardship, and how we ensure that the benefits of air travel are shared equitably. The decisions made today will shape the skies of tomorrow, and it's essential that we get it right. So, there we have the information of UK airports and aviation. However, there doesn't seem to be a push. We will be talking about airports in a later episode, actually in the next one after this, about different kinds of ownership models. To me, airports are important. They are employers for their communities, catalysts for their local area. In Wales, we were talking about Cardiff Airport. Cardiff Airport has people who live around the airport who would benefit from the transport implications. Like, it didn't used to have a train station, it now has a train station, that village. It's not on the National Rail Network. There's stuff like this that provide goods for the local community. But sometimes the local community, as what happens in Swansea, complain about the airport, and then the airport can't grow or the airport can't do stuff. So it is what I said about juggling that fine balance between is it in the public good, is it environmentally friendly, and getting it right, really. I don't know, have you watched the TV show Airline when you see them in the airport and the check-in staff, how much pressure they're under, and you're just shouting? I don't get people like that myself, but, it's life. Theoretically. But yeah, isn't the airport industry quite contrasting compared to the bus industry, what we've talked about? However, have you noticed so far, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm noticing there's a big kick here about green and about going green in environmentally friendly practices. This is a great thing for us because the more green it is, you never know. Oil is too um, oil is too expensive, and it gets expensive. So maybe with green technologies, we'd be able to lower the prices a little bit more. So airlines like EasyJet, and we will be talking about them as well in a later episode. Airlines like EasyJet are able to offer an even more cheaper price on their regional connectivity. But this could be great, and then we have the benefits. If passenger airlines are using it, then airlines that use for freight would start using this technology. So then hopefully our freight prices would come down. So this could be really essential for us to get it right. And this seems to be the best time to do it when the airline industry is recovering from pandemic and has gone from zero to, from like 100 flights a day to zero, and then back to, I would say about 90%, and then running their operation. Maybe it was time for us, or for the transport industry as a whole, to look at new ways of doing things. If you've enjoyed this, thanks for joining me. So, thank you for joining me on this episode of Around the World Today. If you've enjoyed this discussion, make sure to tune in to our next episode where we'll be exploring airport ownership models around the world. That and what they mean for the future of the aviation industry. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon and stay curious about the world around you.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
This is Terry Davis signing off. Take care and see you next time.